What does a fried nervous system actually show up as? I will give you an example of something that actually happened today, and I'm sharing it with clients' permission. So she walks in and she is like, I gotta talk to you. Can I be really honest with you? And I'm like, always, please share with me. And she's like, I just feel like I want to punch somebody today. And she's like, everybody's getting on my nerves. My husband is getting on my nerves. My colleagues are getting on my nerves. And I feel this way. And I feel like I can't sleep well. I can't do anything right. And she just kept going and going and going and going. And I was like, okay, that is your nervous system giving you feedback of time out, girl, time out. It is time to pause and take a deep breath. Why is that important? This is, you guys, this is so key. This is something that we're not taught to do. How many of you can relate to the situation that I described? You're feeling edgy, snappy, irritable, you're raising your voice. Maybe you do have to behave yourself, but you're rolling your eyes like a teenager. You can't sleep, you feel yucky, you feel heavy, you feel your hair is not right. Whatever it is that you're experiencing in your body, you just don't feel right in your body. When you have that awareness, it is time to pause and pay attention. So she came in today for a workout session, for a movement session. Did we do a movement session? We actually did very light somatic type of movement. And why is that important? If I am, let's say, angry and stressed and rushed, what happens to my body? Huh. My body arms for fight, flight, or freeze. And literally, when I say freeze, that is the tension that you start feeling, especially shoulders, neck. You're feeling that tension. Maybe you, if you're aware, like your breath is not the same, and if you have never experienced the difference, you probably can't tell if your breath is shallow. So, if I am here because I'm tense, because I'm stressed, and let's say now I go to do a hit type of workout, and I'm doing, a shoulder press. If I have that kind of tension, your body goes automatically into compensations because your body is in a position that says, right now, you need to protect yourself. So when something should look nice and loose and free, instead it looks tense. And then you might be like, oh, now my neck is hurting, or like my shoulder is hurting, or something is hurting, or like now I can't turn my head the right way. I'm uncomfortable in my body. Also, very important, she is a performer. She is a high achiever. She is right here on her growth path. And she has to get a bunch of stuff done. And she's like, I can't afford to slow down. Well, let me tell you, if you keep going on that path of tension and stress and the mind going 500 miles an hour and you don't reset and you keep staying in that state systematic or chronic stress, it becomes a vicious cycle that reinforces itself. If your mind can't shut down, now you're exhausted, you go to sleep, but you can't sleep because you lie down and start thinking about all the projects that you have to do. Maybe your neck is tugging, so you can't get comfortable. You're tossing and turning, trying to find position. Now you get on your phone because you're frustrated, you can't sleep. Now that has awakened you further and disrupt your sleep patterns. You finally fall asleep. Now you're exhausted in the morning. Now your hormones are all over the place. Now, because your hormones are off, now you're making the wrong food choices. Everything and everybody around you is irritating you, and you think it's their fault because we're conditioned to think that our state is dictated by our external world. But actually, the reason we're showing up the way we're showing up is not because of the external world, but how we feel inside, which is why it is so important that before we load our system with further performance, whether that's in the gym or that's in life, at work, you actually go back to baseline, go back to homeostasis before you load. Because when you load the system that's already overloaded, that is actually causing damage. Now, the damage may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, but over time, chronic stress will lead to things such as, Alzheimer's and heart attack and stroke and cancer and all of those things, which will make you slow down. So it's not if it's going to catch up with you, it's a matter of when it is going to catch up with you. And today, what I talked to my client and I said, listen, many people choose to stop when they're made to stop, but the reversal to go back to homeostasis once you're there is very, very different than when you're still kind of like on the path there. It is so much easier to reverse. It is so much easier to change habits. It is so much easier to deal with the body that hasn't gone on a bunch of medications, hasn't gone through a bunch of surgery. Maybe it's not physiological, mentally, emotionally impacted. So being proactive definitely beats being reactive. And let's say she's a successful entrepreneur. If she falls apart, then what's happening to the business? All of those things that she's doing, who is going to do them? So for somebody like that, that is has responsibility to the family, to the business, to colleagues, to community, to elderly parents, and so forth, it is actually counter your I'm losing my words, it is counter your interests to not take care of yourself. It is a key priority. So I ask you today to just pause and take a breath and reflect. How are you feeling in your body? Because your body, as I always say, is constantly giving you feedback on your state of being. Are you acknowledging that and taking action? Or are you ignoring and pushing through and performing because that's all you know? Trust me, been there, I can relate. I would totally love to hear from you. And there are certain little things that you can do. Like for her, I sent her a link to a meditation, 10 minutes meditation of my YouTube channel. If you guys have not seen the 10-minute reset, that is literally less than 10 minutes of work that you can listen to, or you can follow the a video. You can do it anytime, any place. I ask her to do it like she's going on overwhelm. Little things like that go a long way. And while you might not feel the difference right away, over time you start becoming more attuned to how you're feeling. Your mind and body connection will deepen, and you have much quicker feedback when something is feeling off. Super important topic. Don't ignore the signals. Your body is there as a messenger to guide you, provide you support, and to tell you, hey, buddy, you want to perform better? Give me some attention so that I can be more focused, more concentrated, feel great, so that I can support you on the journey. Would love to hear your thoughts. Do not forget to take care of yourself. And I will see you next time.